Yeah, we're going.
Hello, welcome to a brand new No, that's too cheesy pie. Hang on.
Why was that too cheesy?
Welcome to a new podcast, unnamed present with me, Tom, and my co-host, Simon. Well, who I will be referring to as Si.
Yeah.
This is very much a pilot, isn't it?
Breathing into the mic, sorry. Well, yeah, we do. We haven't planned anything. I don't really know what we're going to talk about.
This is a pilot to a pilot. This would be very raw. And as we record, there's no podcast name, there's no podcast jingle, there's no topics to discuss. The only topic we will be discussing is what to talk about.
Yeah, and what the name of the pod is.
Oh, I just said that. Oh. Yeah, Eros. And so yes, and this is we've been here before on a different platform, haven't we? A couple of times. As in your podcast. Yeah, I'll give it a shameless plug. That's fine. You just authorised me to there, but that was...
I didn't name it though, did I?
No. On another podcast, we were in this room, your studio. Very, very professional. Mixing deck. Is that a mixing deck?
It's a mixing desk, yeah.
Desk, yeah. Lots of knobs. Plus us two.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Welcome, everybody. If you're partial to a pod where you don't mind no particular routine, then we're the pod for you. But in time it might be the type of podcast where there is routine, but it's an unplanned kind of thing. It's Wolf and Owl. It's
what?
Wolf and Owl podcast.
What's that?
It's Romesh Ranganathan and Tom Davis.
You told me this before.
Yeah, I haven't listened to them for ages, but there's that kind of sort of not really. Who else is there? I think other podcasters who do. Oh, well, Chatterbix, of course.
See, I don't listen to any of that.
You don't listen to any pods, do you?
No.
Oddly enough, you listen to mine.
Now and then, yeah.
When which thanks and all that. But there's loads of decent pods out there.
Yeah, I listen to Uncanny.
That's a good pod. Maybe we could talk about the pods we like. That's a funny.
Well, mine won't go very far because it's literally just Uncanny. What?
Actually, on the top of Uncanny, if you haven't heard of Uncanny, it's a podcast covering not ghost stories, but people's accounts of ghosts, the paranormal, alien activity, strange happenings. It's kind of a modern take on, Strange But True, but for podcasts. Have you watched Strange But True in the 90s with Michael Aspel?
Yeah.
And
Strange But True.
No, I just had. If you ever have a dream where just before you wake up, if someone's talking to you in a dream, for example, you sort of, as you wake up, you hear it still. It almost like wakes you up.
Hear the dream.
What's that? What's that your voice there?
I was kind of mid-burp when I was going.
No, just I woke up the other morning to it was as clear as day. Someone saying hello downstairs. We're all in bed,
right?
And I probably would say that was someone in my dream saying that to me, but it felt so bloody clear. I froze. Like I was thinking that just sounds like someone's downstairs. They weren't. Everyone was in bed. The kids were asleep. Robin was asleep, and it sounded. That's just came to me then as we talk about Uncanny.
I haven't had that before.
This is a cheery topic. When our dog died on New Year's Day, we Robin, my partner Robin, myself, and
Big up Robin.
Robin's mum, who we all loved our dog. I say Robin's mum because she looked after him a lot. We all, at separate times in that first week, woke up to his bark. So obviously we're dreaming of him.
There's probably that. I expect you were anticipating it as well if he used to do that. No?
He did used to do that, but I'm not saying there was a ghostly bark, but we all happened to have that bark which woke us up in the morning like an alarm clock. But it did used to happen. But so that's dead dogs covered. Podcasts. So
briefly covered. No,
there's millions of podcasts out there, but the ones I listen to are Chatterbix, A Village in Crisis podcast, which is two normal blokes like us. Well, I say normal, but if they're anything like us, they're not normal, are they?
Yeah.
But they just have casual chat, but their thing is looking at village Facebook pages and sort of talking about the topics, the pressing concerns and the arguments that's quite.
Who does that?
A Village in Crisis podcast.
Yeah, who does it? Or just randos?
Their names?
Yeah, there's not like celebrities, no?
No, they're norms.
Right.
Like us. But
right, I see.
But I got more time for podcasts. Well, the people who aren't like famous and not making a killing on advertising, I got more of an affection for those pods. But I don't listen to that many. But Village in Crisis is just one example. Yeah. But yeah, Chatterbix is good.
I think I've heard of that, but I don't. Yeah, it must have been from you.
Joe Wilkinson and David Earl, and it's the same kind of format. They're just kind of two awkward men trying to, talk about various different things, just random drivel, really. They have the odd celebrity on. But yeah, actually, when I think about it, there's a few.
When do you listen to them though? Because any time I would listen to, if I go to listen to Uncanny, or I'm listening to yours. I'm usually dead bored now.
That's the time to do it.
No, usually when I'm driving.
Yeah, driving, dog walks. I can't listen to any pod or any kind of radio show if I've got to do a monotonous task at work where I need to sort of focus on it.
Yeah, I do.
Music is good for that because you don't need to listen to the lyrics as such. Yeah, well, so I don't do dog walks anymore, but I try and go for the odd lunchtime walk, believe it or not. Otherwise, it's journeys to the supermarket and back, or
what you listen to? Right in the car.
Just snippets.
I struggle to listen to. I can't listen to headphones just wandering around. I need to. It's almost like one of my senses is taken out if I listen to earphones while I'm walking around, like in a supermarket. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's hardly dulcet tones in a supermarket. I'd rather have headphones on.
Yeah,
and you can, if there's an emergency, you still hear it. Because
I guess. But yeah, I don't listen. I suppose the other one's Metallica podcast they've been doing over the last 6 months.
Who actually does the Metallica podcast?
I think it's their editor they've had for years. He does it with like another woman from one of their charities.
All right.
It's cool. It's just quite hard to do a weekly Metallica podcast when on a band that. Wait, unless something's happening every week.
Well, when they're on tour, they'd be doing it, wouldn't they? Reviewing the latest.
Yeah, it's good. They've been getting like some old producers on and talking about some of the crew that helped.
Is it the official Metallica one then?
Yeah, it's official.
So the band members could go on and have a chat.
Oh, they go on it. Yeah, now and again. There's that.
For me, I haven't listened. The idea of listening to a music podcast doesn't appeal.
Well, no, I suppose that's different for you, isn't it?
I still like music, but listening to a pod about it, I can't envisage.
Well, I don't listen to music podcasts, only that one.
No. Well, there's a chap who does the Royal Family podcast on the sitcom, not the family.
Yeah.
Called the Royal Ramble podcast. Why am I talking about that?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, he's done other podcasts and he tends to mention it. And he did one on Metallica. I think, what do you call it? Alphabetica.
Why did he do that? And what did he talk about?
Every single song.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know.
What he just named them or just talked about it every single?
I think I haven't listened to them, but I think it's an episode on each song.
Oh my god, that must have been.
Hence Alphabetica. Oh. He's done other pods. He's done. I can't remember now. There's at least one other.
Ages.
Yeah. Do you know what? Podcasting is obviously huge, isn't it, in the last 5 years alone? But you can go back to like the mid 2000s, and they were Ricky Gervais, and that was sort of the pioneers, I suppose. But I wish I knew how to do a podcast when I lived on my own in my flat. I could have dedicated even more time. But I'm sure back then I used to think you had to pay to put it up on a platform or something.
Well, yeah, it was less accessible, wasn't it, to do things like that, I think, back then.
It's hard to anyone could do a pod and it just, you can publish it everywhere just through a click of a button, through an RSS code, done. I don't know what you'd have to have done in 2009.
Well, I don't even know how you do it now, so I'm kind of relying on you.
Oh, yeah. FaaF. Flat as a fart. What's the name of the pod? That's the topic. We have no idea we don't know what the premise is, apart from chatting
Shit.
idle chat about nothing.
Yeah.
We're not going to try to be funny because we're not overly funny, but hopefully we could be endearing, and we'll get a pity listener or two, a pity vote. Our friends and family might out of pity subscribe just so the numbers jump up, but they're not necessarily listening.
Yeah, it's not for any like actual.
Because when you upload a pod, you have to select a category. It would have to come under comedy.
Oh, right.
Not
comedy,
to say,
music.
Not to say
TV.
we're not talking about comedy as such. It's light-hearted, isn't it? We're not going to be morbid, hopefully. Although we might talk about morbid stuff and make it funny. I say again, not laugh out loud funny, but make light of something. Like I just talked about my dead dog, but I was genuinely traumatized about that event.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. What's the name of the pod? We need to come up with at least one or two ideas. People would say, why don't you just discuss this off pod? But when you exchange WhatsApps, it gets lost in translation amongst other things, and you just sort of don't.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of. I just generally don't have a lot of knowledge in the whole kind of pod thing.
I just haven't got any idea.
It has to be either clever or to the point. I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to find a premise as to what we're talking.
I just don't know. The only name I've come up with is It's All We've Got pod. It's all we've got. Because no matter what people's expectations are of giving us a chance, what you're hearing is that's all we've got. Our knowledge of stuff is limited potentially. That's all we've got pod. That's all I've got. That's all I've got on that, with ideas. That's all I've got. But
that's an idea.
Writing it down is. Have you listened to the It's All We've Got pod? Whether that rolls off the tongue or not, probably doesn't, does it? It's all we've got. But we need to create a Twitter or an X account, as a minimum, because that's the only way people can discover you, apart from word of mouth. You need to succumb to social media. So that's just the bottom line.
Yeah, I suppose. Or Threads. Have you even got Threads?
I don't know what that is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
It's Instagram's like version of Twitter or X or something, isn't it?
But what does that look like?
I haven't got
tweet. But
I don't know. Thread. I guess so. I don't know. It's just called something else.
I don't think it's big enough yet to I think Twitter's a pretty safe bet to start with. But I suppose there's no harm in. You could be the social media manager for this.
Oh Jesus! I'm like the worst person for that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that could be a start, I suppose.
Cyan Griff pod.
Oh, God no.
Sad bastards. Sad gits. I think if you overly take the piss out of yourself too much as a title, it's not funny, is it?
No.
If we go with the sad gits, because we're just so sad, aren't we?
Yeah.
People go, almost, pull the other one, you're just trying to...
Yeah, it's too much on the nose or something as well, I think. Maybe, I don't know.
We'll come back to it. If you can think of...
Surely we need a name before this goes out.
Well...
if you can think of a name, tell us.
Well,
then we'll upload it.
Because the episode title doesn't matter, but you still need a podcast name to say, download... Oh, shit, that's pressure, isn't it? But when this is out, we'll be listening back going, oh, that was stress, wasn't it? But don't worry, because
you can't even name it after anything we really, really like.
No.
Because then that's too specific.
I mean, if you take the two examples of Wolf and Hour Pod...
I don't know what that is.
Which is Ramesh Ranganathan and Tom Davis, the comedians. Yeah. They're just talking amongst themselves about what they've been up to, and they... obviously got a big enough following that people email it all the time about their problems, and they're like Agony and Agony Aunt type a pod, and they make it humorous as well. But
yeah,
so that's their thing. But why they call themselves Wolf and Owl, I don't know. It's just like they discussed it on an earlier episode. Just said, oh, we just decided to go with animal names, and that was that.
Sorry, what was it called again?
Wolf and Owl.
Oh, I see.
Chatterbix.
Trouble is, they got the fact that they're well known on them on their side.
Chatterbix is again, it was 2 or 3 episodes down before they had their podcast name. I don't actually know what they would have called it when they first released it, unless they recorded it then uploaded the episodes once they knew what they're just like, well, we're 2 blokes who chats, and we want it to be like a morning show, and whilst you're having your breakfast, you crunch on your cereal, Weetabix chat, and it just went down that avenue. It was done much more funny than I just described it. Village in Crisis podcast, again, with great respect to them, very much an unknown pod, although they would have built up some sort of a following. Village in Crisis is their niche thing is looking at Facebook village pages, and sort of reading out the whatever delights that people have posted, whatever queries, questions, or issues, and then they read the comments and make light of it like that, and it's quite entertaining. So plus, they talk about other stuff.
So basically, we need a premise for the podcast.
Oh, we need an idea, right? Okay. What's the idea? What is the idea?
Random bollocks. You can't really put that on.
Random. The word random is overly used day to day.
Overly used. Yeah.
Don't know. We need like a thesaurus book and come up with words and see what cleverer words are alternatives, so that it's not so fucking basic. We're out to swear, aren't we? We're
it's boring otherwise.
Yeah, fucking hell, it's good. It's so good to swear freely. On my other pods,
Why?
I feel conscious about it because I was, the other 1 Foot pod, obviously. 1 Foot in the Grave isn't known for its harsh. Well, there is swearing in it, but I kept it to a minimum. Just didn't want to deter your audience. But anyone who listens to this has to. If you click play, you're signing up to the terms and conditions that we will casually swear, to express ourselves.
Yeah.
Don't know what to say. Well, we'll have to move on from this topic because it might come to us. How many minutes down are we just talking about?
I have no idea. Like 10, 15? I think we started at just after 2:45.
Our premise is, it's so unknown that I don't even know how to begin the sentence of what this pod is about.
Oh, well, I don't know what it was about. So
Well, it's not going to be topical. We're not talking about the news, are we?
No, that's just dull as well.
I don't mind delving into conspiracies, like well-known ones, whether I believe them or not. I don't care. I don't mind going down the uncanny territory. That's good. I don't mind talking about our experiences of what school was like and the silliness and sort of recounting those tales. That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, the only thing is you won't start bringing up people that obviously don't want to name them.
We don't name them.
Names.
We won't name the likes of Alex or Mike, James, Mark. I'll bleep those names. But
they were right fucking.
I never liked them. They don't know that, but I just never liked them. No, I did. I mean, we don't keep in touch so much now. Fond memories and all that. FaaF. Flat as a farm. Okay, I'll ask you a question. What's your earliest memory of me?
Of you?
Yeah.
I'm going to know what I'm going to say.
I actually don't.
Me?
No.
Well, because you joined... so where we're from, our school's kind of like... We have first school, middle school, and then college, isn't it? Like from year 10 to year 9 to year 11, and sixth form or tertiary, whatever it's called. And then when we were in middle school, which goes from year 5 to year 8, Tom joined, I believe, in year 6.
Mm-hmm. You can call me Griff. You call me Griff forever.
Yeah,
you got to be relaxed here. You say Tom, I feel it on edge.
So I didn't know you. I don't think I knew who you were because I always knew you as the boy that lived.
Oh God.
What?
Oh, I know what you're going to say now. Go on.
Well, yeah, but I just remember driving by and you kicking a ball next on like at a wall on your own. Quite a lot of the times. I think that's my first.
I thought you were going to say something else. Then I'll tell you what I think you're going to say. Because so where I lived, there was off-road parking, and there was a wall, and quite often I'd be out there kicking the ball by myself. But
it's like that meme of Millhouse. Have you seen that GIF or whatever? Like where he's lobbing the frisbee on his own.
Funny you should say
and
about
run it
Millhouse,
back and then.
Because you look like to me back in the day Bart Simpson or Millhouse. You just look like him. But no, my brother and I would our Welsh counterpart Adam Taylor. We would often play football there, but sometimes Adam wasn't about, or James might be not at work because he'd been too young, but just not there. So
he probably would have been at work. He's worked since he was like a child. Your brother, it feels like.
But in the mid 90s, yeah, that was just like, what can you do? Just kick a ball against the wall, quite literally.
Were you going to say that?
It's just walking home from school. I used to run home. I used to run. Home through the fields.
I remember you
going home
through the fields. Yeah, but I remember you running.
But a couple of us would do it because I could not wait to get home. So you leave school. You had to walk through a field to get home.
Well, you weren't very far, were you? Really?
No, but I used to sprint home. What must it look like? No reason. I didn't need the toilet. I didn't need to get in to watch a TV program.
Just wanted to get back to kick the ball against the wall.
I just didn't like school that much. I couldn't wait to get as far away from it as quickly as possible.
You didn't like it that much. So I'd say the middle school was like that's we're gonna have to cut that because that's literally pinpointing where we're living.
Okay, but a middle school. Like you said, the middle school went to was year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8. I joined year 6. You're already there at year 5, and
you just bleep it out if you can.
Yeah. You've all gone to school together at your primary school. So I didn't live in the area till 1993, and I was at a school outside Bath. But I wanted to change schools so I could actually have friends in the area. Mm. So so joining year 6 meant I had to play catch up. But then I just didn't feel at ease with classmates in year 7, year 8. A couple of friends, yeah. Then we went to secondary school. No, yeah, that's secondary school, isn't it?
Basically, yeah, it's like the equivalent.
That's everyone's on a reset then because everyone two different schools colliding.
Yeah.
Right, and you've also got your mates, but you all split up suddenly. So then obviously, yeah. Actually, I remember meeting you in the middle school when you all had to go to. On the wall was a list of all the kids who were going to be in each other's class for the big school.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
and you were like, "Are you Tom Griffith?"
Did I?
I remember that. Yeah. You were Bucket, and yeah. Anyway, that's whatever. So your first memory of me is kicking the ball against the wall by myself, like some sad tosser.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, I used to play an awful lot with my bro and Adam, like thousands of times throughout the years. But I used to practice my David Beckham free kicks around the lamppost, curl it. Let's love it.
Yeah, I think that's what sticks in my mind anyway.
Well,
what's yours?
Well, I just said it. We were queuing up.
Was it?
That's
quite late.
At the end of year 8, they just announced all the tutor groups for year 9 at the new school, and for some reason we had to go to the area of the year 5 block where they stuck all the classes to find your name, and you were there, and you just said, "Are you Tom Griffith?" I thought, Christ, did like Bart Simpson.
Did I say that?
Yeah, something like that.
Weird.
So that's. I was always told that our rival middle school, who would be joining main school with like year 9, I was always told that they're all bullies and they'd all flush your head down the toilet, and I believed it. I was absolutely petrified.
Really? Right.
That's what I was just told. Oh, that's the rough school. That is. They're gonna bloody eat you for bloody breakfast, mate.
Yeah, I don't know why I had that connotation with that school, but I guess back then I think it's all changed now. Like it's a bit different now. But
I just say I'm loving the Joe Rogan mics we've got here. We're a tin pot podcast, but I've got a Shure mic.
It's the vocal mic. Thanks to the Family Rain. Big up, and
the band Family Rain.
The band, yeah. And
I just say they should spell rain REIGN, not RAIN. if you want me to be your manager, the first thing I do, change the spelling of rain. Bloody good guitarist though.
Bloody good.
Drummer. So what was I asking you? Any? Let's move on from school.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking about now. Is the school days.
FaaF. Flat as a farm. What is the one conspiracy that is well known and you believe it?
Jesus.
Or very invested in it, like you're open to it? It doesn't have to be conspiracy as such. It could be just something that...
This is your area of like expertise, isn't it?
I'm not expert at all. I just got opinions on stuff.
I don't know, because I'm not really massively into the whole conspiracy.
What's your favourite one or ones that we'd have watched hours of YouTube stuff in the past, and we'd have watched someone talk about or show the top 5 ghosts found in here, or the top 5 alien sightings, or the top 5 mysterious figures.
What's my favourite?
One just to watch. You don't have to believe it. Is there one that sticks out?
Only because we used to watch. So normally when Griff comes over, I'm going to burp, I think. Ugh. So that's bad. Normally when you come over or I go to yours, we end up watching like YouTube, don't we? Like just random shit on YouTube. Usually top 5. Usually something scary top 5s. Yeah. And there was a specific channel.
They don't need bloody plug-in with his 5 million.
I'm not, but I can't remember it anyway.
It's just called Top 5s.
No, not that. No, that's the Welsh guy, isn't it? No, not that one. The other one. I don't know what he's called. I can't remember. But I used to watch it a lot because I wasn't invested.
Nuke.
Yeah, that one. It started like when you find the channel, and it's like, oh, this is different. This is a bit more like scary, and you're more into it for the entertainment factor. And I remember there was a video of like a guy in a massive graveyard. But it's like a cemetery, sorry, not a graveyard, in America, obviously. And it's one of those ones where it's got like different areas, and there's seating areas, and there's a woman just sat on a bench in the dark on her own or something, and then looks just like that kind of. That one sticks to my mind quite a lot.
Did you think that was real, or just...
This is the thing. Like, the more you watch them, I think, the more I'm less convinced they are. Because anyone can make up anything these days.
I like the videos talking about people gone missing and they're still missing. And they left them really for random reasons. They just went... They might have been planning a hike or something, but... They were perfectly fine one day, but then the next.
Yeah, but I always want to know where they are.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it?
I know, but if it doesn't tell you like the outcome of the mystery, it's like, oh,
I don't know. I like it when it's open ended because, okay, the best one, I say best as in, and to say entertaining is a bit disrespectful. If the families are like still grieving, but the most interesting case, it was like a Dutch chap and his friends. They went somewhere.
This is the one that runs out the airport.
Yeah, so him and his mates go on a holiday. They get into a fight, and this particular missing chap gets sort of lamped in the ear, and he has like damages his eardrum or something, and he's not well enough to fly back home, and he has to.
Remember that bit.
He has to go on. He has to go to the hospital. Then they discharge him, and then he goes, but he's not allowed to fly back until he has one last check at the airport, and he goes in. You can see him on the, arriving at the airport inside the terminal. Goes to a, I don't know, like a doctor's room or something, and he filming.
No, I was doing a picture while I was walking.
Well, good angle. And the next thing in LCTV, he sprints out of the like I say hotel, the airport, and then there's the cameras outside. You see him just running outside the airport car park. Down the road, and that's the last I've seen of him. And the mystery is obviously where the hell's he gone? But why did he just run out of that?
Yeah, no. I remember
what triggered him to, and he's to our understanding still missing to this day. But anything
That's one you remember. That's the one.
That's one that's like I'm fascinated by that one.
Yeah, they're a bit more realistic, I guess. That's less. That's more real than somebody sitting in a grave in a cemetery, isn't it?
Yeah, anything that's obviously British as well. I mean, that wasn't a British case, but obviously the Maddie McCann one is like the most talked about.
Yeah.
But that kind of ilk, when it's on your homeland, it hits home more, doesn't it? When it's like, there's such and such British male went missing in 1998.
He was British, was he?
No, but I'm just saying that wasn't a British example, but the one it's a documentary on a British person or family or whatever, and they've gone missing. That's even more like, that's even more freaky.
Yeah,
it's like our territory. But all the mainstream ones, like Maddie McCann and the 9/11 and all that stuff. I don't ever get bored of watching the same old videos of that, because there's always something new that I haven't seen before. But there's obviously the one with the really tall men in black. They're like very gangly, and they look really weird. They're just
stuff like that. I just don't know. Like if that was a thing, I think there'd be way more of a thing about it. Surely, no.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I think. This is why I don't know. That's why I don't. It's a bit like Ghosts generally. Like this is why I watch Uncanny. I'll watch and listen to Uncanny. It's because it's just good to hear people's experiences.
Do you believe them?
Yeah. So, well, you said, I think, when did you say this? You said you don't disbelieve what they say, but like,
I think if it could be, the phrase that's just all in your head, that doesn't take away, first of all, the experience, but science, when it discovered what's in our head, could still be something unexplained. We'll tune into what we see, but I think the argument for paranormal activity being real is some people are more susceptible than others. I can see something now that you don't, in a glimpse of something, but I can't prove it. Yeah, it could be literally in your imagination as well. So I'm open to it being it is just literally imagination, but also that is a physical thing. But I don't know.
I believe their experiences, like you said, I think, but I don't know what to believe really. I'm definitely on the fence because you can't prove it, so I can't be a believer or a skeptic. But I do genuinely lean on more the fact that when you're dead, that's it. Personally,
that's depressing.
It is depressing, but you're gonna know any different, are you?
Well, not unless you're open-minded to the soul being a mystical, like literally your imagination survives and then that carries on into a different consciousness.
Yeah.
Because you're leaving your physical body, your brain's shut down, something else unexplained. That's what a lot of people want to believe, because to think it's just that's it.
Well, I know. Because it's more comforting, isn't it?
The Death Podcast.
There's a Death Podcast.
The Death Podcast.
Is this what you're wanting to call it?
That's another name. And that's not because I want to talk about dead people. That
sounds quite negative, though, doesn't it?
The death, because it is a negative word, but I think ultimately we're always going to lean into negativity with our humour and stuff. But that's all I've got.
Jizz pots. The jizz pods. I don't know.
Put jizz in a title is, just, do
that.
Mum, I got this pod out. Anyway, death. Yes. I was going to ask you, have you ever encountered what you perceive to be something not natural?
You?
Apart from one of my curries I try to make.
Yeah. No, there's only been a few.
Even if it's just like out, that was a bit weird, but it's not. You're not saying it's a ghost. You're not saying it's an alien. You're saying I cannot explain that, and someone might not be able to. Is there anything like that?
Alex's logic, but other than
context needed for listeners.
Yeah, it's just one of our mates. I have had a few couple of things that have stuck in my head that weren't a massive deal, but like when I went to was it Warwick Castle? This was like 9 years ago or so. It was quite some time ago, and I was in the gallery room, I think, or one of the rooms of the castle, and just out of nowhere somebody prodded the back of my belt buckle. Like it was a physical kind of finger prod.
The back of your belt buckle?
Yeah, like
where you're at, top of your ass?
Yeah, top of my ass.
It's definitely not behind you.
No, because it made me literally turn. It's in the reaction of like a prod and then me turning really quickly. It didn't freak me out, but I was just like, that was weird. That was weird. Not that I knew that. I mean, it's a castle, so it probably is haunted in some respect. But I didn't know this.
Yeah, but if you think that's haunted, what does that not conflict with what you said about that you die? That's it.
This is the thing. I don't know.
I'm not trying to catch you out. I'm just trying to.
No, but I don't have evidence for either or for or. So it's just an experience. Like could have been anything.
It can happen day to day. Sometimes on your arm or something, on your leg, it's like it pulsates, like a little nerve.
A nerve gets you.
And if you had a man, you could think. I know it's not, but that's the feeling of someone tapping you, isn't it? But do you think that could have happened at the back of your belt buckle?
You never know, do you?
Maybe bottom of your back.
It felt like pressure
spasm.
against. It felt like pressure against.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I'd like to know if we have any listeners. Geez, people who don't know us.
What? Just generally, do you want to know if we have any listeners?
To our listener. If you've encountered anything...
To us listening to this back.
That's the tragic thing. Listeners 1 and 2 will be us. Fucking hell. Let us know if you've... I mean, bloody one of those corniest, cheesiest things to do on a podcast radio. Let us know if you've encountered... But I would like to know if anyone's encountered. Like my brother and my mum remembers this very clearly, that when he was very little... He reckons he could see an old man in his room, ghostly.
That's freaky.
Sat in the corner, and he described my mum's granddad or something, who died obviously many years before 1983, which year James was born. So this would have been in the mid-80s when he's 3 or 4 or 5. He described everything about like facial features. I mean, that's quite interesting. I mean, it's a child's. I think children, if there's anything that's beyond what we perceive to be possible, kids seem to. Margot, my daughter, I'm sad.
Oh yeah,
now.
didn't she?
She's not like this now. When she was 3, age 4, she would in the dark time. She could see sparkles and stuff and different shapes, and. In our room, she said she could, when she woke up in the night, she could see people walking on my head, like in a different time zone, in a different reality, different level. There just people walking around me. She doesn't watch bloody ghost films. She's just saying what she thinks she sees.
Yeah, I swear there was something else she said. You told me about what she said, what she saw.
Just glitter, like
was that it?
In the pitch of night, she'd see like white sparkles, glitter, like.
I swear there was something else to that story, or not?
There might have been. I'm trying to think. I
swear there was something else to that story. Because I remember going, what?
Yeah, what was it?
I remember... I don't know. I genuinely can't.
Are you sure it wasn't the people walking across over my head whilst I was asleep?
She wasn't talking to anyone, was she? As well, no.
God, don't know.
I might have.
She's. She gets frightened quite easily at night now because she's more conscious and aware of stuff. So her imagination gets more and more wild, but she doesn't see shapes in the dark anymore or weird white flashes or whatever she said she saw.
You're right.
But, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't. I mean, is that so? You haven't experienced anything? Just your brother James has experienced
that. The only thing I obviously start this pod, I said about being woken up to someone saying hello, really loud and clear. Yeah. But when I was about 4 or 5, in my old house, I woke up to the sound of something falling down the stairs, like a cardboard box full of books or something heavy, and there was nothing there at the bottom of the stairs. again, that just in my dream that woke me up, but it just felt bloody loud. I'm sure I was conscious or awake, but
Yeah.
no, I don't think I have.
It's one of those things, isn't it, that you kind of want to experience something paranormal or a ghost.
Yeah.
Then you do, but do
Or
you?
when you do experience
Yeah.
it, you bloody shit yourself.
Yeah, but do you? I don't know. I would probably. Yeah, it's one of those things that I'd be great to do a haunted night at a haunted house, something just to see what happens.
My dad and his partner did a Ouija board thing
Right.
in the 90s.
Yeah, my mum's done one years ago.
And I mean, it spelled out. So yeah, my sort of stepmom's mum passed away around that time. She was called Joyce, and it spelled out joy. And are you here? Yes.
Stuff
I-
like that can just be like you can be doing that subconsciously, like.
Yeah, but yeah, they say just do not fuck about with that sort of
No.
board game in your house. But I really want to play it, but not in my house. Your house is good, not mine.
I wouldn't do that.
Maybe I could do it in because we're moving house. So hopefully everything's so far going smoothly. Maybe it's to do it in our house and leave it nice and haunted
hell.
for the buyers.
Yeah, and it'll end up following me or something daft.
You seen Paranormal Activity?
No.
It's the same kind of vibe.
I'm not. When people start talking about TV or film, I just seem to like.
You don't do that.
I
You don't do
really
telly
watch
or
anything
film,
like
do
that,
you?
so I'm just like most of the time I'm not even clued up to what.
You're all about Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I don't watch Star Wars that much though.
No, but these are you love those, but you
Back
won't.
to the Future.
You're not asked about discovering new stuff, are you?
So I parked next to DeLorean and that instant.
I saw that picture, but I also did years ago in Manchester.
Is
Remember? Have you blocked out your memory because you're
I
so
can't
envious of me?
remember that. I can't remember
Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, that's your dream. That's your first purchase, isn't it?
That'd
If you're a millionaire.
That would be if I won the lottery, I'd buy a DeLorean, yeah, or two, maybe.
Why two?
But they're quite rare, aren't they?
I thought you meant so you could park one in one location, one in another, and then pretend.
But they're not
just
very
trunks.
practical. The guy that parked it in the supermarket I was at obviously parked it really badly, so no one parked next to him because obviously they're gull wing doors.
Oh yeah, of course.
So you
yeah,
better
yeah.
get out. But yeah, I've seen that one before a couple of years ago. So is one definitely local around here? I would love one. They are really bad. Like I got to drive one for my 30th.
Would it be as? Did you? Oh yes, I remember that. I remember. What you know? What vehicle I'd buy if I won the lottery?
Robin Reliant.
No,
Oh,
the Reliant Regal super van.
oh why?
It's the same van. I knew you'd call it the Robin
you-
Reliant. It's not Robin Reliant. It's the Reliant.
The Reliant is
Regal.
the non-van version, yeah.
It's there's no such van as a Reliant
Isn't there?
Robin. It's the Reliant is the
Robin.
brand.
Oh, right.
It's the manufacturer. Regal is.
This is the only time he's ever been into cars and knows what he's talking about cars, I think.
But there's probably about I don't know. There's obviously it falls on horses. Obviously, for anyone who can catch on. I say anyone, us listening later.
Yeah.
Just remind.
Just remind
I'm on
ourselves.
about fools and horses, but yeah, that I just absolutely bloody love to get. I just love it. You get so many head. Who'd get more head turns, the Trotter van or the Back to the Future van?
It depends
car.
if it depends if the van is done up. to,
Yeah, I
like-
mean, dolled up, Trotters in event traders, suitcase on top.
probably just as much. I would say. I mean,
In this country, I'd probably say the Trotter. In America, wouldn't.
it's hard to say.
In America, it's all that's not really known at all.
Yeah, not in America.
But in this country, it's 50-50, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, yeah. If they were both done up to how they're meant to look, then they'd probably both turn heads. I don't know.
I'd be worried about going around corners in a three-wheeler.
Well, yeah,
though.
you don't want to go around them very fast.
That would make me nervous. Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, that's added some comedy value. Yes, got some comedy. A burp. Yes,
Burp.
intelligent comedy on this pod.
FaaF.
Flat as a farm. See, we've talking absolute nonsense, but somehow we've projected what we needed to talk about, and there is a tiny market for that, and I'm happy with that.
That tiny market will be us too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Any ideas on a podcast name? We've got pod and Death Pod.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like
No,
Death
you don't
Pod.
like Death.
I'm not. Yeah, we're gonna have to have a. What was the other one we thought of?
That's all we got.
What was the other one?
Death Pod.
No,
That's
there was
all
another one, wasn't
No, I can't think of anything.
there? You said one earlier on.
Griffin's.
No.
Griffin Marsh.
No, you said one earlier on, and you started, it doesn't really roll off the tongue. Well, that's that, isn't it?
It's all we've got, Pod.
Oh, is all we've
I'm
got?
sure it's that. That's all we've got.
What's wrong with that?
Oh,
I think that's
because the reason I came with that one is we're limited in what we can do. I think topics
What, because of our brains.
Yeah, we're giving you our all. I think it's all we've got. Download the It's All We've Got pod. So I don't know.
It's hard because we've got nothing. Like we're not.
How about
it's not even like a niche subject where you can like play off whatever that niche subject is.
Generic fools.
Yeah, but it's a bit vague. It's a bit vague.
Exactly. We're vague. We've not tied ourselves down, which is great because we can talk about anything.
Generic fools.
Generic. Just generic. I don't know. Generic.
It's hard.
Generic nonsense.
I mean, this could be cut out, couldn't it?
Generic booth.
What's that mean?
We're in a booth talking generic stuff. Sit down with Griffin Marsh. Sit down.
Sit down.
Feet up. Feet up with Griffin. It's got to represent like I'm listening to a pod because whatever name you choose that isn't niche will be like we're then suddenly represented by that name, and the listener needs to know what they're kind of getting and what we can also make the name clever enough so it's inviting them to do something with us. Put your feet up or sit down or not. You can think too hard about it. I mean, I could do. I tell you what, there's got to be a Google website, right, called Podcast Name Generator. I can do that now.
I think a lot of people do that anyway.
Generate your podcast name for free at getwelder.com. Right. Let's see what it comes
options
with.
Okay,
you can describe your podcast as if you're explaining. Describe your podcast, and then there's a button to press generate podcast name.
Okay.
2 sad males, generic.
2 sad
topics, stress-free, relaxed comedy. Should I just do that?
Yeah.
Generate podcast name. Please don't tell me to bloody subscribe to get the names.
It said free, didn't
it? Right, here's some.
Hang on.
Oh my god!
I got a pad here.
Oh my god! Some of these names, Si.
What?
There's shitloads.
Is it?
I don't like. Do you know one of the first ones that come up?
What?
Your gay best friend. Yensid's podcast.
What does that mean?
I don't know what Yensid means. Oh, this is rough. Generic ASMR. I know what ASMR is, and it's not an ASMR pod. Do you know what ASMR is? It's like relaxing sounds to make you fall asleep.
Yeah, right.
Kings and Kings. J&A show. J&A. That's not our initials. Badger and Badger podcast.
The fuck?
The Talking Dead. That is a podcast.
Is it?
Yeah, on the Walking Dead. Talking Dead. 2 sad dudes. Sad dudes talk. Sad dude cast. I get the theme here. Unorganized thoughts. Oh, this one. 2 dudes, 1 mic. It's not accurate because we're actually got a mic each.
Yeah, that's shit.
Bad at life. Oh, this name now. It would be enough for me to not do a podcast. It's called Talking to Ourselves. 2 sad dudettes. 2 sad boys, 1 brain cell. AI is really taking the piss here. Mango and peach.
What?
Mango and peach.
But why?
It doesn't. If I click on it, does it? Oh, if I click on it, Oh, it doesn't do anything. Saturday. That's a good one. If we release an ep on a Saturday, is good. If our niche is releasing on a episode every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
If we don't have to record on Saturday, but we could release on a Saturday, couldn't we?
Yeah, but not every Saturday, because that's making sure you have to do a pod every week.
No, you bulk record, don't you? We do 6 of these and then bulk release.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Saturday, 2 Ds. That so far is
Saturday.
This is a Saturday podcast for 2 sad gits.
Should I cut this out of this? This is shit.
No, this is part of it.
Yeah, but it's a bit shit.
2 sad males. This is a weird one. Depression and chill.
Fuck. Saturday with
the
TNS.
G&M.
Oh yeah.
Sad girls. Right. Okay. I need to really put in a different. Okay.
I think you can go on that premise of Saturday, but sad just who else is going to get that bar us?
I don't think there's anything to get.
They're not going to understand the premise of why it's called sad.
Saturday, it's all we've got pod.
They don't understand, but why is it called Saturday? They need to know why.
Well, they
sad bastards.
They'd listen to the pilot to know why, wouldn't they?
Well, yeah, but they need something to draw them in.
Saturday. Flats of fun. Well, we took a quick break. It wasn't quick, actually. To you, it's quick because it's seamless. But we've had to call in the help of AI plus our brains
we can't think for ourselves
to come up with a pod name. We're going back to the pod name thing. And as we record this, we still don't know, but we're getting closer to... So what have we come up with between us?
Oh, yeah. Well, really, only Flat as a Fart pod.
Flat as a Fart. FaaF.
FaaF.
As a...
Will it be...
FaaF pod.
FaaF part. Yeah, you can just call it the FaaF pod.
And if they say, what does that mean? Oh, flat as a fart. You know, if it rolls off the tongue... Not like a fart word.
Is that really FaaF?
FaaF pod. FaaF pod.
Yeah.
Flat ass. Flat as a fart pod. What's the other ones? Airing our bollocks.
We haven't really got any others. Yeah, there was that one.
Poddocks. Airing our poddocks, which is a bit desperate, isn't it, for play on words.
The more you think about these things.
Yeah.
There was Saturday, wasn't there?
Saturday,
which before, but we both really, off that.
Yeah, that would have only worked if we committed to always releasing an ep on a Saturday. But I think popular release days are Sundays and Wednesdays.
Why is that then? Why is that?
Sunday, but because day of rest, people aren't really up to much, and they could be on a walk. They could be just doing nothing at home, and they might.
You can pick up a podcast anytime.
Yeah, you can, but you can grab their attention at a peak of people looking for something to listen to or doing something. It's more likely to be on a Saturday. It's like people might tweet or do a Facebook status on their advertising on, say, on a Sunday afternoon when nobody's doing anything.
Right.
People are on their phones. So if you tweet, I've got a podcast out, it gets noticed straight away. And obviously, as time goes by, if it's a Monday evening, Tuesday lunch, they might not be tuned in to what's out there, and they will discover it eventually. But you'll get your. That's based on my limited experience.
That's fair. Okay.
And then Wednesday, it's like the middle of the week where people fed up. You know, if you can do it, even improve someone's mood, even 1%.
Yeah.
If they happen to like your pod, it's the podcast. It's breaking my week up. Honestly, I've listened to pods where they've done that. And I've actually looked forward to a Wednesday. It's a hump day. It's boring Wednesdays. And there's been the odd pod. That's quite good. I listen to it on my lunch. So that's,
Okay.
Flat's a fart pod. We're not here to take a serious. If you want to record it properly, and
I like to make it sound good. So,
you're the sound engineer. I'm doing a limited amount of editing, but our topics aren't that serious, are they?
No, it'd be good to get maybe other mates on. I mean, Alex isn't far away. He's pretty much the same distance as you. So it's just whether or not he wants to chat.
And sometimes this, it's great doing it in person, but a Zoom call is is just as effective. It maybe not for the sound quality from where you're concerned, or your sound will be good. Mine will be standard. Still for a mic, but just to get more, because like coming here on a Saturday afternoon is not that easy, not as straightforward with family back home and that. So sometimes it'd have to be a Zoom pod.
Yeah,
you know, and it, you know, there's some really good quality sound Zoom podcasts out there that you'd think they're in the same room. I've overcome some really shite microphone times, and it's not as good as this, but it's better because I was just not using a microphone and used different alternatives, and it fucking didn't work.
We'll have to see how this comes out. Yeah, I don't really know if it's.
I think it'd be fine. Where do you stand with Flat as a Fart pod, FaaF pod?
The FaaF pod, yeah. And then what would you bracket the actual? You bracket one of them. That doesn't really say FaaF, does it? FAAF.
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 FaaF. If we've been pedantic, you go FaaF or FaaF or FaaF. I if someone said, "What's your podcast called?" Oh, it's a FaaF podcast. Instantly, then they go, "What do you mean FaaF? What? Flat as a fart?" And that might raise, even if you don't have that kind of humour, you might go, that's a bit unusual, but fair enough. You know, laughing at yourselves a bit there.
We just talk shit.
We do. We probably come across a bit flat on this pod, haven't we? Just kind of.
Yeah, because we're just trying to figure out what we're doing, really, isn't it? Aren't we? I suppose.
Well, how long have we recorded now? This is the pilot app.
Well, I reckon over an hour. There's an hour there.
Should we wrap up?
If you want, yeah.
Well, you've been listening to the FaaF podcast. I've enjoyed the first step. Have you?
Me?
Well, yeah.
I thought you were talking to me.
We haven't got any listeners yet, mate.
I thought you were talking to me when I'm listening to this back. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good. All right. Well, I'm sure we will be back for more, and it may well get more structured as we go. But Flat as a Fart pod is all about kind of
not knowing what we're doing.
Yeah, unplanned. It's an unplanned comedy pod, and when that doesn't mean we're trying to be funny, it's lighthearted. It's very laid back. We're not taking anything too seriously. The only thing we are taking seriously is you've got this quite advanced mixing desk thing. I mean, it's complicated to me, but apart from that, our topics are not, you know. Anyway, we haven't got a Twitter, we haven't got an email address. I don't know how you can contact us, but we'll be at FaaF probably.
FAAF. Yeah. At the moment, just contact Griff through his only
1 foot in the podcast.
Yeah.
3 comedians.
Shameless plug.
But that's all from us. Cheers.
Thank you.
FaaF. Flat as a fart.